Sarah, you wanted to hit, oh, we're recording, great. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming today to our last in the series of roundtable discussions. I'm Julie Sigmund, Director for the Omaha STEM Ecosystem, for those that I have not yet met. And we're very happy to have you here joining the conversation. These are critical information points for the Omaha STEM ecosystem to have shared community voice. So we appreciate you taking time out of your day to do that. We have something a little different today than we usually do, and I hope you really enjoy it. We have Levi Teal from UNO here and Tony Veland from AIM Institute here that's going to walk us through the STEM community platform, dive a little bit deeper into it, and then also encourage you as community partners to help us build this and continue to make sure it reflects our community. So at this time, I'm going to hand it over to Levi and have her start us off.
Hi, folks. Good morning. Julie, thanks for the intro. As Julie mentioned, I am at UNO, Director of Career Development. And before I came to UNO, I was also at AIM Institute with Tony Veland. And in that role, I had the opportunity to join the Omaha STEM ecosystem, serve on committees and boards. It's really a great organization, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Part of the work that we did with Julie and Julie, I think this started about a year ago, really, a little over a year ago. We started having serious conversations about how we could build out an online resource, an online platform that would show all the cool things that our community is doing in STEM. What we realized is our community has a lot of awesome programs, but not everyone knows about them. Sometimes it's hard to find relevant programs in STEM, or maybe you take a class at Do Space, or you participate in one of AIM's after school programs, and you have a great experience, but you don't know what to do next. So we love the idea of pulling together everything that's going on in our community around STEM with some career exploration resources and making it available in the community. So that's what we set out to do last year. And with some help from our generous sponsors, we were able to put up a website that listed out STEM opportunities and career exploration resources. So what I'd like to do is just give a quick overview of the site and its current features and capabilities, and then Tony Veland is going to go a little more into depth on some of those resources on the site. So I'm going to share my screen here. Here it is. So if you go to stemplatform.org, you can visit the STEM community platform. As you scroll down the page, there's information about the resource. There's information about our generous sponsors who help make this site possible. And you can also find more information if you'd like to get involved with the platform through sponsorship. There is the catalog where you can find STEM offerings. If you click on that, you'll go to the offering page. And this is, as you can see, it lists out all the cool things our community is currently doing in STEM. There is a quiz feature where you can take a quiz indicating what you're interested in, what exactly you're looking for, and it will provide relevant results for you. There's a search bar, so you can put in any search terms you're interested in. You can also sort and filter the results by age or format, if there's a cost involved, if scholarships are available, what type of program it is, the organization that hosts it, et cetera, et cetera. So you can find exactly what you're looking for. Let's see, one of the first things is this particular program. If you click on it, you can find more information about the program. And there is a link that goes over to an external page that the program organizers maintain that has even more information about the program and registration. So I'm going to click back over here. Oh, sorry about that. Here we go. So like I said, you can browse through this catalog depending on what you're looking for. Now, if you're a program provider, like many of you that are on the call are, you may be wondering, well, how do I get my programs to show up on this site? And there's a really easy way to do that. There, down at the bottom, there is a link to submit a program offering. It takes you to oh, it's asking me to log in. I guess I am not logged in. But it takes you to a really easy form that just asks for information about your program, what type it is, the name, what dates it runs, if it's a reoccurring series or a one-off event, if there's registration, et cetera, et cetera. But it's a really easy form. I don't imagine it'd take more than 3 minutes to fill out. Once you submit that, we take a quick look at it just to make sure it's a real program and not some spam bot that has filled it up. And then we'll go ahead and post it on the site, and then it gets promoted. And this is completely free for the participating organizations hosting these programs. We don't charge them for that posting. We also don't collect any fees for the users that use the site, the parents and teachers and students and community members. We wanted this to be a free service for our community. So that is my very quick overview of the STEM offering catalog. As I mentioned, Tony in a little bit will get into more detail on some of the cool functionality of that. But first, I wanted to show you one last piece of the site that I'm really excited about. There are some career exploration resources on the site. So students can learn, and potentially career changers could learn more about the great career opportunities in STEM. So you can learn more about the S, T, E, and M areas. If you click on any one of these, it starts getting more into depth. There's quizzes and assessments, so you can find out your interests and what career areas align. You can learn more about subfields within each of these, and find relevant programs and education. So as you can see, this program and education section right here is pulling right from that catalog I showed you earlier. So if you find interest in one of these career areas, you could say, how do I get involved, or how do I learn more? And it shows you these opportunities right here in our community to learn more about those areas and take some programming. It also has example careers that are listed and other resources about all these career fields. What I love about these career exploration pages and how it links to the catalog is it really provides an easy one-stop shop for folks to learn more about STEM, get into programs, and start their STEM journey towards a career field. Long-term, what we're really hoping is this helps more people get into the STEM pipeline and get into those highly paid and highly in-demand STEM careers, which would be amazing for our community. So without further ado, I want to turn it over to Tony Veland, who's going to walk us through some cool exercises about how we can better use the catalog. Take it away, Tony.
I'm wondering, while Tony is booting back up, he might have gotten booted off the platform. So while he's talking, does anyone have any questions of what Levi had covered, like how you might be able to get your organization uploaded and part of it? And if you have some questions, feel free to put them in the chat box. This is, we launched this in April of this year with the full page, and then always want feedback from our community partners. And one of the feedbacks that came back very strong in the summer was, we want a dedicated internship page. So the developers at AIM were very quick and responsive and able to give us that opportunity, and now there's a dedicated internship page. So if you if your organization does the internships or externships for educators, please go ahead and post that on. We know this is the time where people are starting to look at summer interns and into the next school year for that. So we appreciate you doing that. The other thing on the career exploration page is the feedback. We have a great team of interns and UNO STEM stars that are helping us build out what those careers are. But we are doing this from our perspective. So when we do something like some of those careers that were in science or in technology, we send it out to community partners and say, are we on par with what you are offering? And does this look like the job? And do we have the education requirements down? So they give us feedback, and then we update that and also make sure that we're current to jobs that are available in the greater Omaha area and Nebraska. That is our, I just got something from Tony. His internet is down, so we'll do something else. But
Julie,
anyhow,
Julie,
yeah.
there's a couple of questions in the chat. One is, how is the platform being promoted in our community? Is there a promotional toolkit or social media posts we could have access to in order to help promote it? And then secondly, how often should we upload offerings? And are you interested in free tutoring opportunities for students?
All very good questions, and thank you. We're promoting it right now through various presentations, word of mouth. We do have a couple of, we do not have yet a promotional toolkit, which is a great suggestion, and we will get that going. I think the biggest way we're promoting it right now is that magnification effect. We talk to people, you know, you've done it, you've gone to a restaurant, you've gotten some great dinner, you take a picture and you send it out to your friends. Oh my gosh, you got to go to this place and order it. It's absolutely wonderful. We're really promoting it through the that magnification effect, but also doing some more social media posting and then looking at some paid advertising come 2022. And you can upload as many offerings and as long as and as many as you have. We ask to put an expiration date, and sometimes it's an ongoing event, but just to make sure that we don't have something on there that goes to into eternity, we ask you to put at least a year expiration date, and then you'd have to update it again for that next year. But you can post as many as you would like on that page. What I'm going to do is we're going to change directions a little bit since Tony got knocked off with the internet. And I'm going to ask Sarah Schoppenberg, who is the Omaha STEM Ecosystem's new marketing and communication coordinator, if she can kind of walk us through some of those opportunities, and we're going to highlight them. While we're doing that, we're going to ask you guys to, if you have a computer in front of you, to jump on to the stemplatform.org, because we're going to walk through and have you select a program that you think is really cool, and we're going to talk about why that's so cool. So Sarah, I know I'm just throwing this at you. Can you share your screen and kind of walk us through some of those top programs that we were looking at?
Yeah, I can go ahead and share my screen and we can do that. Okay. Can you all see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So as Levi was showing us, this offerings page has a whole list of all types of offerings, and you can filter by your interest or audience type. So if you're looking for a student program, you can click that. If you're looking for a specific category, you can filter by that as well. So for example, if we just do audience type as student and then apply filters, it'll show all the filters that are just for students, and that could be all age groups of students, even up to post-secondary. So you can see all of those different resources or programs for students. So let's just find one program here. So for example, this first one, zoo class, thankful for our zoo, is a class that the Omaha Zoo is putting on. You can see all of the information here about it, and then it links out to their page for you to register and get more information about. And you can see it's a Omaha STEM approved program, which is you can take after you post your program. So this is just an easy way to find offerings. So we can go out and see if you guys want to get a little bit more hands-on experience with our platform. If you have access to look at it, if you want to go all and get onto our platform. And so then we can all try and find different programs that we have going on, and we can see the different filters and see what programs interest you.
So I apologize. Technical difficulties. Anytime we try to have some type of technical thing, some glitch happens, correct? I mean, it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm Tony Veland, Director of Business Development with the AIM Institute. And again, apologize for that. But thank you for, taking over that particular piece right there, Sarah. Yeah, and I'm really excited that we finally got this offering together. I've been with AIM for about 3.5 years. And I'll be honest, I didn't come from a tech background by any means. So, once I actually got into this space, it was like, what the heck is really out there? What central place can I go to find out what programs are available, what internships are available, what jobs are available, those types of things. And we really didn't have a resource. And so to have the STEM platform, to have the OSE and Julie and her team and AIM get together and put something together like this was definitely no small undertaking by any means. So the fact that we can actually get this all in one repository and have people who may not have any idea of where to go when it comes to kind of navigating this world of tech, to have them be able to come to one particular place and be able to find all the programs and the internships, I think is such a great tool. So I'm glad they got this together. And as you can see, we're walking kind of through this. I think Sarah just went over one of the filters for students. Why don't we try to find maybe an internship? Maybe you have a student who is interested in going into tech, wants to go to a particular company and learn a little bit more and hopefully get some experience going to a job. So why don't we go towards, so if you go to the filter and click that and go look at the audience type, go down, scroll down a little bit. And you can see if you're looking at internships, you can get either a paid or an unpaid. Let's look at a paid because I think kids these days want to actually make money when they're trying to work. Let's go ahead and apply that filter. And then you can see there's a number of different internships that are actually available that people can scroll through, can learn from. Why don't we go to, let's look at the one from HDR. So you can see here, it gives information about where the internship is, if it's going to be paid in person, where it's at, when it starts. And if you can scroll down a little bit more, and it actually gives you, keep scrolling, I'm sorry, that visit page. So, you hit that particular link, it takes you to that page, to that site. You can actually, it's very minimal work to be able to get to that page and actually apply. So I think it's such a great offering that we are actually doing such a great service that we're providing for those individuals who are trying to get into this space. Let's click back out of that. And while we're going through this, I know that there are a number of individuals who have frequented the site in the past. If any of those guys want to maybe share, any program that you have, learned about, or if there's something that's really interesting about, the site in itself that you want to share, we'd love for you to be able to do that so that people can get a little bit more acclimated to what's going on. If you can use the bottom of the screen has the reactions and put your hand up via the Zoom. We can choose you from there. And let me scroll down just to see if we have any. Okay, so it looks like we got some shy people this morning. Oh, good. All right, so let's do this. Let's go to one of the filters. And we have looked for something for a student. We've looked for something for an internship, but we can also do something for professionals. So let's go to the filter. And the audience type, let's look at professional. And let's say maybe we want to go into maybe design. So if we go up top and click, excuse me, type in design. So you scroll down and you should be able to, let me see here. Yeah, there we go. The prototype design lab. So this is one of the offerings that Metro is offering. And I'll give kudos to Metro. Metro has a lot of different offerings on here. And they're utilizing this site the way that they actually should. Again, it provides, when that particular class is, how to actually apply to the class. And it gives you a lot of good information about, what is available in that particular field. I will say for this particular tool, it is an amazing tool, but a tool is only good as its practical use. So one thing that we want to make sure that we're doing is that we are sharing this information with individuals who, need this particular tool, not only for individuals who want to use it, but also if you have a program or if you know of, a program that would be great to be sharing with the rest of the community, make sure that you're actually getting that information on here as well. Because for us to put all this work in here and for people not to use it would be, in my opinion, a little bit of a travesty. So let's just make sure that we're actually continuing to use this particular resource for those individuals who are trying to learn more about the space. The next area let's go into is the career exploration page. So if we click on the learn about STEM careers, I know that Levi kind of went into this. But if you scroll down a little bit, I think it's amazing that they put this together, the science, the technology, the engineering, and math. Because we're at AIM and we're focusing on technology, let's scroll down to the technology page and click on that. Go ahead and scroll down. And I think it's great that it gives you a couple of different subsets. There's coding, there's design, there's infrastructure. One thing I really liked about this is that if an individual is trying to walk into this space and learn about coding, not only does it give you a definition of what coding is, but it also gives you the sample careers that are actually there as well. And also a STEM outlook. So if I'm a kid that's want to go into this space, but I can look into this outlook and say, well, it's forecasted either grow or it's forecasted, not to do well over the next few years. Maybe it gives me an opportunity to say, well, maybe that's something that I don't necessarily want to go into. Maybe I can alter, what I'm thinking about going into, and know that I'll have a future in some type of career that is actually going to be growing. So if you go ahead and click on that more about coding. And scroll down. Okay, so if you scroll back up just a little bit more, I apologize. So one thing I really like about this particular page as well, scroll up a little more, is that little bar right there where it says connect with an AIM Tech Navigator. So not only do we have the information on here about the programs, we also have a human resource for you to actually connect with to learn more about the space, because the space is huge, right? The tech industry is huge, but we have individuals there that kind of pare that space down to teach you a little bit more about the industry, to find out what skills that you actually have, the opportunities that are actually out there, and actually match you with those particular opportunities. So as you scroll down, you'll see other programs that are available, Code Ninjas, they have a lot of things down there. AIM has a couple of things as well. Keep scrolling. And then it gives you the example careers, full stack web developers, what that particular job entails, how much money you can actually make. And trust me, kids want to know how much money you can make when you're actually going towards a job. That's the sexy part of it. But I think it gives great information on what I'm going to be doing if I actually go into this particular space. So such a great tool. Again, I don't know if there's anybody on the call who's kind of frequented the site and have learned some very interesting things that you'd like to share with the rest of the group. Let me see, is there a way? So I got a question from Nicole that says, is there a way to share this information on our personal social media platforms? Yeah,
Tony,
we'd love for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, we would love for you to, we can give you just the link to it. We also post an awful lot on our social media, and you can share and like what we're posting. If there's a new iteration coming out, like when we did the internship page, we posted a lot of click on this in social media. So you can just use that link to get onto the STEM platform or like us in that social media. And that's a great question. Thanks.
Thank you for that question. And again, this tool is only going to be as good as its practical use. So we just have to make sure that we are really sharing it with, with our STEM community. And if you have, some type of offering that you're actually trying to put on the page, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, so you can actually submit an offering. So if you submit here, it'll actually take you back to the page where once you there you go, we're actually in. So you can put your name, put the offering description, the URL, so on and so forth. So we want to make sure that, again, this becomes the most robust tool out there when it comes to looking at STEM and looking at, offerings that are actually available. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. I know that every time, you have a tool and, somebody, says something about, how good it is, you really don't know unless you get a chance to kind of walk through and kind of play with it and learn about it. And I tell you, there's so much information out there. It's such a great resource. We have to make sure that we're actually utilizing it. So hopefully you guys felt that this was, helpful. I know I went through it, somewhat quick, but at least it gives you an idea of what is actually out there and what resources that we can actually use for people who are actually trying to get into this space. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it back to Julie, and I think she has a couple of updates for next year.
Let me just get off mute. Thank you, Tony. Great job of walking through that and really good questions in the chat box. So thank you and continue those coming. One of the things as Tony was scrolling through, I would love a little bit of feedback, and you can give it to me later or you can give it to me right now if you'd like. What did you see that resonated with you, or what did you see that was really missing, particularly either in the offering or the career exploration page? Was there anything that anyone wants to share? I do see a couple of things in the chat box, and we do really appreciate the people that have taken time and gotten on. And I know there's quite a bit from Excel. They've submitted some opportunities through resources interested in STEM. Is Michael still on the call? What is your feedback, Michael?
This Michael? No.
Oh, well, Mike Flash, you're on the call. Yeah, no, I was looking for Hollins, but I know MC.
Michael, oh, sorry, Julie, Michael just had to hop off just a second ago, but we have had some excellent experiences with the platform. I know I was the one, I submitted them here. We're on the same team. And it has just been great to point people towards. I do love the filter feature, and something that I really like is how you can search it by what area you're interested in. So when we have students that come to us and say, oh, I'm interested in, tech, we can share not only our resources, but the community's resources with them too, which has been very beneficial.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. And Mike Flash, you were going to talk as well. How about MCC?
Well, I think, if you look on there, we have a lot, the continuing ed folks have a lot of their activities on there, which is a great way to find them from the young people to any age group. And then I think the workforce innovation group has a lot on there in terms of training. So, there's stuff on there like drone training, laser cutting, the Proto Design Lab is a great place that's advertised on there where a community member can go and learn how to use almost any tool and fabricate almost anything. So, there's some really good things that are talked about on there that from both those divisions. I think one of the things in the future is, figuring out how to link to some of the educational opportunities that say the educational institutions offer where you might go to get this training. And I think maybe that'll be an outgrowth on the site, so we can link them to a Metro or a UNO or a Methodist or Clarkson or wherever to get more educational. So I think there'll be a lot of growth in this site over time, and making it as robust as needed. So excited about the site, and I played with it quite a bit. So I've enjoyed playing with it, and I was playing around and seeing how it worked and seeing the information. So it's really a great service to the community, and we'll try to make use of it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of really good comments in the chat. And we will take all of those into consideration. We meet, Sarah has every other week meetings with AIM and their development team. One of the other things that we are looking at on the career exploration page, and I think being in isolation and that hard stop with COVID taught us an awful lot of how do we keep learning while we're still not able to be in person, particularly with maybe juniors and seniors in high school that maybe want to go out and look into, used to go into an office and take a tour of the office and see what that's like. We still want them to be able to do that, but we also need to do a virtual. So we are working right now on what does that look like, and we're looking at virtual tours that companies can put, and we will put that under those career blocks if you want to just click on that little media bit, and also a day in the life of, and that's not the title we're using, but we can't think of one yet, but it would give you an idea of what does a drone pilot for UP look like versus a drone pilot in ag look like. And so there'll be a lot of those kind of iterations coming up. But usually we take that feedback pretty quick from partners that are coming in, and make sure that we can do that in a timely manner. And we put it, if it's not right away, we put it on our project list and we'll get to it pretty quick. Okay. Any other questions that we've got coming on?
I just wanted to add, and I didn't add this last time when I was speaking, but if there's anybody that actually works with a particular employer that offers internships all the time and they're not on here, please let them know about the resource. We want to make sure that we're reflective of all the jobs and internships that are actually out there available in this particular area. So please share.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm not going to chat on because I know everyone's very busy. We've got a really nice opportunity to look at the platform. You've given us some really great comments in the chat box, and I really appreciate that. Somebody did ask about posting jobs. We are trying not to be that job poster because there are other venues out there that are posting jobs. These are opportunities to explore, look at careers, and maybe do internships and externships, but we are kind of walking, we don't want to be that job spot, but we will recommend students to placements if they need it. But that's not the role of the STEM ecosystem. One of the things that I'd like to say now is we do need your feedback. As Tony has mentioned, this is a community project. We want to make sure that these jobs are reflective, like I mentioned earlier, in Omaha and across the state. We are putting some virtual programs on because I'm on the advisory board for Million Girl Moonshot, and that's mostly a rural initiative. So we are posting things that are virtual and can be used across the state. We'll continue to do that more if needed. The other thing is at the end of this, you'll get a really quick survey. We appreciate you taking just a minute and finish that survey. We're in the process of looking at our roundtable discussions for next year. And these roundtables are a reflection of what people say they want to talk about. So we need that community feedback. We're also looking at maybe doing some in-person, some virtual, a blended type next year, because we're really not quite sure, especially at the beginning of 2021, what that's going to look like. So your feedback on that as well. So to take a minute, do the survey. It's very helpful for us. And we'll continue to expand and expand our partnerships across the state with the STEM community platform. So if anyone has any closing comments.
Julie, this is Joyce. I was late. I did
Yeah.
want to mention we're going to be at the, do you want to mention we're going to be at the upcoming conference? So if people want to come see us in person.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, thank you. Tony and I were talking about that earlier. The AIM Institute is hosting the Heartland Developers Workshop or Conference next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at the CHI Health Center. They have given us an opportunity on day 2 to talk about the STEM community platform right after lunch. And then we have a panel discussion on Thursday with some of our partners talking about what we're going to be, how you can be part of the ecosystem. There's many ways. And then why our sponsors and our key founders and partners found it valuable to be part of the ecosystem, and then moving that forward with building our future STEM workforce. So if you have not yet signed up for the HDC conference, please do so. Love to have you there. And Tony, I think you are the master of ceremony.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It'll be a good day. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited too. We have a partnership with UNK and Leacott is winning Tech Innovator of the Year. So he's really exciting to see that. So thank you for recognizing the great people that support STEM work in our community.
Right. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time today. Hope you walked away with something. And again, give us your feedback. That's the key thing that the ecosystem needs to keep moving forward and be reflective of our community. So enjoy your day, and thanks a lot for participating.